Hello and welcome back on the Austrian Street Course weekend for the last race of this week. We are here for the 6 hours of Austria, the third World Endurance Championship race of the season, the third out of 4. So it's coming close to an end of the season. And we are here for a 6-hour race with our 20 competitors in the 2 classes. And before we are going into the race highlights, we are looking at the current championship standings and the pole setters for this race. On the pole for the LMP2 class, we have the Inter-Europol competition car with the pole position, and the current leader in this class is the United Autosports car, the number 23, with Pearson, Jarvis and Hansen behind the wheel. These are the standings. Every 6 cars currently have still the chance to win the championship, but after this race, if United Autosports get a lot of points, they could already claim the championship title. The pole position in the GT3 class, in the LMGT3 class, for the Acura with the 86, with Briscoe, Formal and Marcelli on the pole. And the current leader there is the Turner Motorsports BMW with Foley, Dunant and Klingmann currently in the lead of the championship. Also there, of the 14 teams, 11 can still win the championship, but maybe Turner Motorsports can turn things around today. Then the drivers and the teams got away for the formation laps, and we will look at the starting lineup for this one. In the first 3 rows, the LMP2 cars with Inter-Europol next to Nielsen Racing, Jota next to Team Benske, and the 1 of Richard Mille next to the 23 of United Autosports. Then we have the 86 and the 19 in the first row of LMGT3, 79 and 3 and 96 and 57. And also then rows 7 to 9, you see the teams and drivers, and also in the last row then in row 10, the last 2 teams. But you all know it's the World Endurance Championship, so everything can happen in a 6-hour race. And then we got underway with the first lap of this street course race. And you know, it's a street course race. This is probably one of the difficult challenges of the season. And already early in the race, the Jota team got by the second place team and is now in second. Behind you also see the LMGT3 class. And Jota and Inter-Europol could lead the field after the first lap. But the race should get away pretty exciting, with already early a battle in the LMGT3 class for second place. You will see it shortly. There it is, the battle for second in this class between the WeatherTech car and the Gear Racing car, and the Porsche, the WeatherTech car with McNeil behind the wheel, got by the Gear Racing car with Heitz from Chile behind the wheel. An early battle here for second, and also early mistakes for some cars in this race. We see it here for the 24 Nielsen Racing car with a big moment, but he touches no barriers, no tire wall. He comes away with this big lockup. Then the battle for first place in the LMGT3. The McNeil driver for the WeatherTech Racing Porsche, so strong in these first few laps, he got by the leader of the Acura of Briscoe. And also battle for first places in the other class, in the LMP2 class. There was a battle for the lead between Inter-Europol and Jota. For the lead. And the Jota got by the Inter-Europol for the lead. So Felix Acosta now in first. Smichowski, the Poland driver, in second place for Inter-Europol. And then the first big drama of the day. And it happened for the championship leader. The number 96 Turner Motorsports car got into the wall. And with damage, a longer pit stop required for the BMW. No touch by United Autosports. The 23 of the LMP2 class didn't touch the BMW. He spins at its own and was able to get repaired but loses a few laps. Then the next battle for third place, Gear Racing against the Corvette with the number 3. And Garcia, the Spaniard, got by the Gear Racing driver for third place. So Corvette now on the podium positions. And then we had another crash in this race. This time for the Heinrichen Racing Acura, and he got touched by the Team Penske driver. But no penalty for the Team Penske. But unfortunately, a bigger repair for the Acura of Miller behind the wheel at this point. But then the bigger drama, the Lamborghini of Peregrine Racing stops in the corner. He is out. A problem with the engine for the Lamborghini, and this should cause a big drama later on. We will come to that later. But a big drama for Lamborghini, for Peregrine Racing. The engine with a problem, and he was out. And the first yellow flag was out. The first code 60 zone was also out. Then a big battle between Inter Europol and the number 1 of Richard Mille Racing for second place in the LMP2. First they got covered good, but then Richard Mille got a better line, and because there was the slow zone here, Richard Mille Racing was second. Because at the point of the start of the slow zone, he was already in front. You see it here, he was in the front. Then the slow zone started because of the Peregrine Racing crash. And so he was by. And then a freeway battle for the lead in the LMGT3 class with the Acura going by the WeatherTech car. So a lead change here once again in this class with Briscoe going by McNeil. And then only a few minutes later, the Corvette also passed the WeatherTech car. So he loses 2 places, McNeil from 1 to 3, and the Corvette with Garcia goes by, and he is now in second place. Yeah, and then this moment happened for the Team Penske LMP2 car. He has to stop the car in the pit lane. A bigger repair required for this car. He also loses a lot of laps. And then it was the battle in the LMGT3 class. Right before the driver changes, the Corvette with Garcia got by the leader with the Acura 86, and so the Corvette was new in first place after this one. Then with new drivers, there also happened a big crash for the BMW and United Autosports car. They got big time into the barriers and into the tire wall. The tire wall probably saved them a bit for a bigger, even harder impact. But you see it way too early. The United Autosports car braked too late, and so both got into the wall and both out. And so the championship leader in the LMP2 class was out at this point. But both drivers, Jarvis in the United Autosports and also Wittmann in the BMW, both okay. But a big crash and a big impact for the championship in this season. And because of this big crash and because of the repairs for the tire walls and also for the barriers, there was the first and only safety car in this race. So for over 30 minutes the safety car was out and no real racing happened. So back to racing after only 3 hours to go, and we have a lead change. The Richard Mille, number 1, goes by the Team Chota. So at this point it was O'Shea, Sebastian O'Shea, the rally driver. Behind the wheel he got by the Chota car of Will Stevens and was now in the leading position. And we had earlier the drama for the Peregrine Lamborghini, and now the same engine problem for the Gear Racing Lamborghini. He is also out of the race with only a bit over 2 hours to go. Both Lamborghinis with an engine problem. So a drama of a day for Lamborghini Racing and for the both privateer teams Gear and Peregrine Racing. And then we had the LMGT3 battle for third place between Team Korthoff and WeatherTech Racing, and Team Korthoff got by WeatherTech Racing. So the Mercedes of Maxi Götz behind the wheel got now in third place. And then it was the last driver change of the day and the last few highlights of the day. Because then it was another crash. We see here the battle between the two Porsche for positions. And then the Jota car squeezed in behind and got turned into the wall. And so Team Jota is out of the race. Rasmussen with the mistake. Way too greedy between those two Porsche. You see it here again. No space for an overtake here. And he spins out into the barriers. And so Team Jota out of the race. After a good race and a good position, they are out of contention of this one. And then we had a battle for second place between Inter Europol and Nielsen Racing by Inter Europol. So Beche, the driver for Nielsen Racing, got by Costa in the Inter Europol car. And then we had a spin for the Team Project 1 car, but luckily with no hit into the wall, so he could continue, but loses one spot against the number 92 Porsche. We see this Porsche behind here going by. And then it was a battle for third place in the LMGT3 class with the Corvette of the number 4 going by Team Korthoff. So Grenier loses one more spot against Van Keating in the Chevrolet number 4. And this closes a very strong race for Corvette with the places 1 and 3. Because after this battle, nothing happened, and so it was done, and it was done for the number 1 Richard Mille Racing, with Sulzer the Austrian behind the wheel, cruising to the win, to the first ever victory for Richard Mille Racing. They win in the LMP2 class, and there comes the winner in the yellow Corvette, the winner in the LMGT3 class with Garcia, Taylor and Katzberg, the two winners. But this is the winner of the LMP2 class with Milesi, Ogier and Sulzer. They got it done in the number 1 Richard Mille Racing car. And this is the winner of the LMGT3 class with Garcia, Taylor and Katzberg, the Corvette, the winning car in this class. Big win for Corvette and also big for the championship standings, of course. They needed this happened now. So these are the race results with the places 1, 2, 6. There we have, for example, Corvette Racers Edge Motorsports gets second and Corvette Racing gets third in the LMGT3 class, and then the other places you can see now here. And then we will look at the championship standings with the LMP2 class first, where 4 out of 6 teams have the chance to win the championship in the last event. Only Jota and Inter Europol are out of contention, but you see the close standings for the top 4 cars, so it will be a pretty exciting finale in December. And then the standings in LMGT3 class. Turner Motorsport still in the lead before, of course, Corvette, Heinrichen and Corvette. These 5 still have the chance to win the championship. Very Green Racing, after the engine problem, unfortunately no chance to win the championship anymore. And then the other page with the Porsche of Porsche Motorsports, or also the BMW of Team ALL. So big names already out of the championship contention. But this was it from this week from the Austin Street Course Racing. We will see you next week again, and in 2 weeks again for the NASCAR Cup Series. Bye bye.